defensive lineman. So Middleton getting the start tonight. DeMarco a push and not much. Well, he didn't need much, but he got stood up immediately.
Only needed a couple of chain links. But if he got it, he just got it. Jermaine McIlvaine, the interior of that defensive line, got a good push. He really didn't have even a sliver to sort of fall into, a little wedge to fall into. You can see that he gets jammed up right at the line of scrimmage. In fact, almost looked from that angle like he may not have even got back to it.
McIlvaine underneath and
That close.
he got about the length of the football, and that was tougher than it was supposed to be, but it's going to be that kind of night.
But that reaction from Mike Benavides on the sideline, and that's what we say, nothing's a given.
And the Rough Riders have challenged.
Mike McCullough came over the top there. They're going to challenge this. Now, we've talked about this many times before, how difficult it is to overturn a play like this, but we did see the ball in that case.
Saskatchewan is challenging the third down spot on the play. We'll review it.
And this is a legal challenge. You cannot challenge in the middle of the field on first or second down the spot of the football, but you can on third down and a gamble, and then of course on any down at the goal line. Just looked like Thomas DeMarco settled back on his heels a little bit before he got a push.
Got the one step forward, but here, and then he wasn't moving any further. But again, there wasn't much needed, and pretty hard to get a more accurate spot.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, BC.
So it's a first down, and we've had plenty of indication in the first 8.5 minutes that probably was wise to take the under tonight.
They have to work for every inch.
First and 10, DeMarco with some time, the fade, and it's incomplete. Intended for Andrew Harris out of the backfield. Mike McCullough tracked him all the way.
Well, that's great coverage by Mike McCullough to come out of the backfield, pick up one of the best running backs in the game when it comes to catching the football down the field, out of the backfield. And he runs a wheel route, which is out to the sideline, then down the rail, and Mike McCullough stayed with him stride for stride. Really no place to put that ball for DeMarco.
So now 2nd and 10, DeMarco rolling to the right. Here comes pressure off the fingertips of Diamond Ferry, and incomplete.
Oh, well, the throw is forced by a charging Tyron Brackenridge. As soon as DeMarco gets outside, Brackenridge sees that contain is lost, and number 41 shoots up there to try and get the ball out of his hands quickly. It does rush the throw. Here comes Brackenridge, and Ferry lets one go right through his hands.
DeMarco yet to throw an interception, but fortunate that wasn't picked off. So here's McCallum from 35 yards out, and the first points are on the board. They go to the Lions, up 3-0. About 10 minutes in. 81's back, and with more, let's go to the sidelines. Farhan Lalji.
Chris Giro-Simon admitted to me after that pregame ceremony it was all he could do to keep it together, and he got standing ovations, not just when it happened, but up and down the sidelines here at the stadium. Fans all weekend since he returned to Vancouver have been telling him how much they miss him, how much he was loved here in Vancouver, and are sorry that he had to leave. But for G-Roy, this weekend has been all about family. Earlier today, he had a chance to watch his daughter's gymnastics lesson. He'll watch his son's football game on the weekend. He's got 25 members of his friends and family here. He's got a special event with them tomorrow, and really he also feels a lot better about the Lions family than he did when the change first happen.
See if he can make an impact in this game and this Saskatchewan offense. Jack Sanders up across the 35-yard line on the return.
Well, to do it, he's going to have to get in the game. And so far in the first couple of series, Geroy Simon has been on the bench as they go with more of a tight end set. There's his record set last week in Montreal, where Ben Cahoon got the majority of his 2017 catches. But
so Geroy's back at BC, but Corey Sheets is back in the Rough Rider offense, and they're trying to reestablish number one. And there's some movement there. As flags fly, as Cream Smith jumped. Let's find out if he was drawn.
this could be a factor. Saskatchewan Roughriders back at Mosaic Stadium are used to the fact that they get the edge when it comes to crowd noise.
Offside. BC. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
As you mentioned off the top, that could work against them tonight. Huge crowd here at BC Place. They're expecting over 40,000. Make it difficult on Darian Durant when he comes out over the ball to audible, and we'll see if it can cause some issues for them.
Goes first and 5. Durant has plenty of time, gets left, the crosser has the first down and runs out at the 53-yard line. Josh Bell was tracking Chris Getzlaff, number 3 in the league in receiving.
Well, 3 of the last 6 games for Getzlaff, over 100 yards. Really taking another step in the progression in his career. Bouncing off a year that started out slow for him in 2012. He's bounced back from that in a big, big way. Number 3 in the CFL, as you mentioned.
10 for Getzlaff, first down, 53-yard line. Quick hitter for Dressler, and broken up Ryan Phillips. Talked to Ryan before the game and mentioned that they didn't go his way 2 weeks ago. He said, Durant's going to test me early this week.
There's one curl that he jumped and was close to a shot at that one. He's in a bit of a slump when it comes to his picks against Saskatchewan the last few years, just a couple in 10 games. But you look overall in his career, he's got a whole bunch against the Riders and against Durant.
2nd and 10. Durant has time over the middle, and Simon can't bring it in. First time 81's number's called, and it's incomplete, and Corey Banks tries to get into the grill of Geroy Simon.
Gets on in the game. He's got to work around Adam Bighill. Get up on top of Josh Bell, try and cut in front of him. I think Bighill may have just distracted him on that throw as he dropped underneath it.
Schmidt with the boot, not deep, but Tim Brown up to field it, and he's angled out at about the 30-yard line. Thomas DeMarco, native of Palm Desert, California, and his mom Jody and his grandmother Janice Gachina are here tonight to cheer him on.
I've been able to watch him on television in his first couple of starts down in the States. A lot of viewers south of the border, and he thought, doing pretty well, better go up and check him out live.
Said Mom and Grandma would take him to some football clinics and have been staunch supporters. The grandmother more than Mom. Mom's a little more nervous. Andrew Harris takes the pitch, trying to get outside, and is able to turn it up around the 38-yard line.
So tell me Mom's not going to run out onto the field
I
if
hope not.
Thomas DeMarco gets hurt.
Grandma will hold her back.
Yeah, I guess.
Headline news, though, in the Palm Desert area. They're excited about their native son making an impact here in the Canadian Football League.
58 is up.
8 for Andrew Harris, who had only 27 yards rushing 2 weeks ago against the Rough Riders. Sets up 2nd and 2. Back inside for Brown, and he'll push for a first down. Diamond Ferry, another tackle. But Tim Brown has moved the chains.
looked to me like Steve Middleton, and again, the number's a little bit tricky here tonight, but looked like Middleton was really confused as to where to line up. Thomas DeMarco was trying to tell him. He looked at there, he went back. Finally, he got to his tight end spot. They did get it, but could have been disastrous if he not got lined up properly.
First down, Harris back in. Take the hit, DeMarco underneath, and that's Sean Gore with the catch up around the 50-yard line.
10 catches last 2 games for Sean Gore.
And a touchdown against the Rough Riders.
And on a bit of a roll. It becomes that slot back. Nick Moore is playing the old G. Simon position, but when they rotate it through, it can become Sean Gore inside.
You mentioned the crowd noise. This time DeMarco hasn't had to deal with it, unlike in Mosaic. And his offensive game plan expands. He's got the ability to do audible tonight. Hands off inside, nothing doing. Ricky Foley, Diamond Ferry, and minimal yardage for Andrew Harris.
Of course, Diamond Ferry is playing in the linebacking core for Weldon Brown, arguably the Riders' best defender before he was knocked out due to injury, and that's been a couple of games now. So Ferry's going to play in at that linebacking core. They'll rotate Tyrone Brackenridge down as well, and at times put Craig Butler back at safety where he is right now on this 2nd and long.
Carlos Thomas back in the Rider defense. He was injured 2 weeks ago against the Lions. Thomas DeMarco over the middle and almost picked off. Terrell Mays was there, and Emmanuel Arsenault had to play defense.
He really did. He became the defender. Terrell Mays survived the changes. He played against Montreal last week, but a couple of changes in that secondary. Corey Chamberlain trying to shake it up and create some competition in the back end and get some more of these plays. Arsenault on that crossing route. 2 deep safeties, so Thomas DeMarco knew he couldn't go down the field on any deep routes. It was well covered.
Callum's kick not deep. Charging up to get it is Sanders, and he'll step out around the 28-yard line. Well, first quarters have been an issue offensively for the Rough Riders all season long. Just 50 points in the opening quarter, and they had 14 in week 1. So it's been a slow starting team, and Darian Durant trying to crack the code that is the toughest defense in the CFL.
Well, George Cortez went away from the run game completely when Chris Garrett was the feature back. Whether it was lack of trust with Garrett, or he just wanted to see if they could win through the air.
9 rushing plays last week. They'll swing it out here, and Getzlaff can't reach it.
So when Corey Sheets went down, George Cortez, again, not necessarily because he didn't trust Chris Garrett, but for whatever reason, threw almost 150 passes, 147 to be exact, in 3 games.
And as you can see, that hasn't been done in a long time. Most passes in a 3-game stretch in 15 years. Should be the final play of the first quarter, 2nd and 10. 4-man rush. Durant underneath, and one hops it at the feet of Corey Sheets. A 2 and out, and the Rough Riders blanked after 15 minutes at BC Place. Lions calling it blackout night. We had an offensive power outage in the opening 15 minutes.
Under 80 yards offense between the 2 teams. And when you take a look at that first quarter, I was very interested to see how Corey Sheets was moving around, and George Cortez elected to use him more in the passing game than really the running game. So we still haven't got a real good read on where that knee's at, but clearly they got to get him the ball more.
Just 1 practice for the Rough Riders, short week. They played Sunday on the road, and do you think that impacts a lack of offense?
Well, they can. I think they're up against a very good defensive team with the BC Lions, and you consider over the last 3 games, they've allowed an average of 17.6 points per game.
Hasn't been Ricky Schmidt's best night, but that's more like it. Driving, Brown back inside the 35. Decent return. Neil Hughes the tackle, but a flag down. Then Mike negated. Tim Brown, number 3 in all-purpose yards in the CFL. Was a 14-yard return, pending the penalty.
Chad Owens was back in the game for Toronto in the game before ours, but the way Tim Brown's played through the back half, got to start considering how many votes he may get.
On the return, holding. BC number 2, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Outstanding special teams player. He's got to be a candidate in the conversation.
Lynn J. Shell called on the hold that pushes BC back. Thomas DeMarco, his average start 2 weeks ago, field position start, was the 32. The average start for the Rough Riders was the 45. A lot of the stats were in favor of the Rough Riders, and yet the Lions able to prevail on that last-minute rally. This time BC starts inside their 30. 4-man rush. DeMarco under pressure. He is dropped, and a flag comes down.
Terrius George got up the field. The Lions would.
On the tackle, major foul, face mask. Saskatchewan number 93. They walk 15 yards from the point of last scrimmage. First down.
Yeah, that's Tay George. He's the guy who got there first. The Lions are going to chip on John Chick, get some help to that right side, and they try and keep him out that way, and no question the face mask there by George.
So it negates what would have been the first sack of the night and the 4th of the season for Terrius George. So first down BC up at the 44 with Nick Moore in motion. Double tight ends, direct snap to Brown, had a little trouble with it, and will be dropped after a 1-yard gain.
Nice read there by John Chick, and you can see when the BC Lions game plan is to chip, and that means to bring a running back on them, and that means that they should get some one-on-ones for the rest of the guys on that defensive line, including Ricky Foley on the outside. But you can see he steps up the field, recognizes that it's the direct snap to Tim Brown, comes underneath. Makes a nice read on that play.
So now 2nd and long. The Lions 23.8% on second down conversions against the Rough Riders at Mosaic, and time count violation.
Well, a lot of people wondering if the numbers for John Chick should be better.
Time count violation. BC number 16. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Returned to Saskatchewan from his time in the National Football League. I think the expectation was through the roof, of course, and had a good conversation with Corey Chamberlain about where he thinks John Chick is yesterday, and Coach Chamberlain said that he is right where he wants him, and he grades out as good or better every single game for the defensive line.
Timer, please hold the clock. Timer, please hold the clock.
He said John Chick is great in the meetings, he's great in the locker room, and every single play we get 100% from 97. So yeah, no worries and no complaints from head coach Corey Chamberlain when it comes to John Chick.
After the penalty, 2nd and 14. DeMarco looking down the sidelines for Gore, who can't bring it down. Up against Rod Williams as they test the newcomer to the Rough Riders secondary, albeit a 4-year veteran of the Canadian Football League.
The Edmonton Eskimos, and through 3 of those years, from 2010 to 2012, had 11 interceptions. can play man-to-man, likes to get up and be aggressive and play press coverage. So Rod Williams is a guy that if you're going to send some pressure, he's going to be one that can track his man in one-on-ones.
A couple bounces into the hands of Sanders. And a cutback by Jock Sanders in the lead. And away he goes and caught from behind. Oh, that's a big tackle by Kyle Jones, the Bishop's grad, celebrating his 27th birthday today. Otherwise, Sanders is still running.